All right, so I'm not really, going to make this pretty long, because this is basically the part two of handling images, and I think there's something going on with image kits that I don't know, it just feels a little bit unstable. I've been trying to find solutions, but I guess I might be the only one facing it though. But I don't know. Let me know the solutions in the comments in case you find it. But right now we're just going to do a little bit of some improvisations just so we can get what we're looking for. All right, so let's not waste too much time and let's just get started. So basically we have this choose file uh, elements that we have, I mean the file input element, and I think for that we should see that element inside our upload here. So I'm just going to hold control and click on that, and yeah, so we should see this, right? Basically what we want to do in this video is we want to take this choose file here and then we want to replace it with our label, the one that we created in the previous episodes, right? And we want to make sure that once we get the images that we have uploaded to image kit, we want to make sure that we display the image here, right? So how are we going to do that? Okay, it's going to be pretty simple. So what we are going to do is we are first of all going to go to the new prompt, right? So when we go to the new prompt, you see over here we get the image, like we get the image appears here, or we get it here, right? So how do we make sure that it appears around here? Let's start with that first. So first of all, I want us to create a use state that is going to store the image data. All right, so I'll just say const image set image, and then I would equate it to use state use states. Okay, so this use state is supposed to come from the top. I don't know why I don't know why it's coming right around this side, so I'll just delete this, cut it out. Yeah, so we have this. Now inside this we're going to create like an object state, right? So you're going to say it's loading sorry about that. It's loading, then we're going to look for an error message, and then I'm going to look for the data, right? Then so the data is going to be an object, and I think right from there we have the image is loading, right? So over here we want to first of all check for whether the image is loading. Okay, but we are not going to check that for now. Let's just pass let's first of all pass the image here. So I'll say this set image, and then I'll set image to this one. So once we've been able to pass it here, all we have to do is go here and then receive it as a prop. Okay, so take set image, it has to be set image. Okay, then after taking this set image, what we are going to do is we are basically going to say that anytime that these, okay, let's copy this first, right? Let's copy all these functions, let's cut them out and then paste them here. They were supposed to be here. So you're going to say that basically sorry, when we get these images in all these states, right, what do we want to do with the data that is coming out, right, the ones that we are logging out? So first of all, we want to say that let's take this set image, right, and then we want to say that inside the set image we take the previous we take the previous stuff that is inside, right? Create this object. So we are going to set it with like a bunch of new values. Okay, so we say take everything that already exists, right, and then set only is loading to be what? True. Okay, so take everything that already exists and then set is loading to be true. And then for the on success here, so once the upload starts, you realize that its loading becomes true, and when the image has been uploaded successfully, you realize that the its loading has to be set to false. So for that, what we can do is I'll just quickly copy this and we'll come and paste it here, and then we have its loading to be set to be false. Then we add the db data, and then we make that res. Okay, so this is db data res. Okay, so we have these all worked out, nice and clean. They're all doing good on their side. Okay, now that we have that all working out for us, what we want to do is we want to come back and basically take the data that we are receiving, right? This image that we receive or we set into it, right? The db data here, I want to take it and then display it right around here, right? So how are we going to do that? We're going to do that by first of all saying, okay, now check if the image, right, contains what? The db data, right? And if it contains the db data, which is the image that has been uploaded successfully, take the file path, right? Check for the file path. Does the file path exist? If it does exist, I need you to render this image kit image. So I'll just say image kit image. Yeah, good. Then here I'll say URL endpoint. Then for the URL endpoint, I'll just have to import this. So I'll say import .meta .env then we'll just go for the env of vits image endpoint. Okay, so I'll just copy this. Okay, so we have the vit image endpoint, and then I want to make sure that when the image is displayed, you want to take the path, right? It's already in the documentation, so you don't have to worry about that. We just take the path of the image and then display it. Okay, so okay, nice. So I'm going to quickly test this out. Okay, but before we do that, let's check for loading, right? So let's say in case the its loading is set to true, right? In case it's set to true, what we want to do is we want to say what? Let's render a div. Let's render a div. I want to, okay, yeah, let's render a div that says what? Loading, right? For the meantime. Okay, don't worry. And then ... So let's render a div that says loading, and in case it's done loading, then we just display the image, or in case this image db data file path is available, we'll just display the image, right? Okay, so let's quickly test it, right? What we are going to do is I'm quickly going to come here. Let's refresh the page. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to use the Google to log in. So we are back, and I'll select a chat. So let's select the chat. Alright, so over here I'll just click on this, and I'll just click on a random image. It's supposed to show up here. Okay, it didn't show up. Let's find out what is wrong. it says okay, the object has come out. And okay, looking at the object, let's check. Okay, it says file path, so I guess we're going to have to change this to file path, and then change this to capital P2 as well. So capital P for the path, capital P for the path, and then I think when we scroll down we should see the changes. Right, so you can see that the image has been displayed here, but like if you remember what I said before at the beginning of the video, I remember I mentioned that I don't know where this error is coming from. Like maybe it might be some instability from ImageKit, I don't know. But if you think you have the solutions, please let me know in the comments, right? Then we check it out. So basically, I don't know, according to the documentation, it says that we need the URL endpoint and then the path, right? But I pass in the URL endpoint and the path, and then we see this. So I've tried to find out the solution to this particular problem or this issue, but I don't know, unfortunately I'm not seeing it anywhere, and AI2 isn't also able to help. So I tried something, so it's saying some SRC something, right? So I tried checking for maybe some SRC property, and then I took the SRC object key or value from the image. So I'll just say image dot db data, and then I took the URL, right? I took the URL of the object, so you can see the URL here, and then I tried applying it. So let's test it out, right? I tried applying it here to see maybe that was the issue. Yeah, okay, so it's loading up, but still it just kept showing up and anything. So with that, I couldn't, I don't know, but it looks like when this error exists, you can't really change the width of your images. Like you can't change the width of your images to any size. You can't manipulate your image in any type of way, right? And so that is messed up. So because of that, I think we are going to have to handle everything by ourselves, by hand, like everything manually. That is, we are going to have to assign a class name to the image, and then we are going to have to style it on our own type thing, right? So let's not waste too much time. Okay, so now that we have the image to be able to be displayed here, what we are going to do is you're just going to add the class name. Alright, so we'll take the class name, and then the class name, let's name it something like an attachment image. So attachment image. So for the attachment image, I'll take that, and I'll come here. So inside the new prompt here, we'll come down to the last section, and then we are going to apply a few stylings here, right? So what are the stylings? We basically say that we need a 380 pixel width, and then we need a 380 pixel height, right? Then we make sure that the object fit is contained. Okay, right. Now that we have this, you can see that it has been increased by size, but like it's just that this time it's a little bit manual. But it's not like we have any option. It's not like we have a choice like that though. But yeah, I guess we'll have to do it like that. So now that we've been able to work with the image and display it here, we want to replace this one with our appropriate icons or appropriate buttons. But how are we going to do that? How we're going to do that is, let me close this. Let's come down. I think, yeah, what we are going to do is we want to make sure that inside this upload component that we have here, right? So inside this upload component, we want to make sure that we assign like a label that is the one that we were using before. We assign that label to that same spot, and then just like how we were able to do this label HTML for us to be able to use an image for our input file element, that's the same thing that we are going to do here. So the first thing is just come here and open up this curly braces, and then we open up the label, right? And then we don't need the HTML for this time, we don't need it. Then inside, what we do inside is we want to apply the image. Okay, now this image, we are going to take the path. So the path is here. We'll just cut this path out because we don't need it inside the new prompt again, and then we just paste the path here. And also let's remove this image because we are not using it anymore. So yeah, so now that we have the path to the attachment image or the attachment icon, what we'll do is I'll just clean this and then assign attachments to it. So we have attachment, and then over here I'll give it a class name of what, new form button image, right? That's because that was the class name that we had given to it inside our new prompt, right? New prompts.css. And you remember that at the very beginning of this series, I mentioned that it looks like our CSS seems to be clashing whenever they have the same class names, right? So as long as we have the same class name right around here, why don't we just apply them? Okay, so new form button image, you can just copy this and then paste it here, and then also do the same for here for this one, right? Then we'll copy this and then yeah, I'll paste it here. All right, so in conclusion, we've been able to set this up, all right, but there's one more issue. Even though we've been able to set this up, right, you realize that this one is still here. So for that, we just come here, apply a style to it, and then set the display property of its styling to be what, none, obviously, right? So you can see that it's gone now, but and our button is in place, but if I click on the button, nothing happens, right? So what we are going to do is we're going to use like a UseRef. Okay, so let's quickly create the UseRef right above here. So come here and create the ref. So just say const image kit upload, so ik upload ref, right? Then we set that to UseRef, and then we set it to null, right? Set the UseRef to null, and then while we have that, right, what we are going to do is we're going to come down here to the ref, and we are going to apply the ik upload ref. Okay, then once we have this working out, we are not done. We need to apply an OnClick here. So an OnClick. So yeah, this OnClick is basically going to be a function that allows us to access a click function inside our ref. So I'll just say what, ik upload ref, then we take the current property, then we access that click function. So right, then when I click on this, it should basically bring up the file. We upload the image, and the image shows up successfully, right? So yeah, we've finally been able to work with the image upload, at least for now. And in the next video, would be working with integrating our AI APIs or our AI functionalities inside the application, right? So yeah, hopefully that should be like one of the most exciting parts that you've all been waiting for. So yeah, I just hope I'll see you in the next one. All right.